and welcome back to Aggressively Average, a series where we just try and do our best because that's all anyone can ever ask of you. And today we are making hot cross buns because it's Easter. We're going to be following Recipe Tin Eats and their recipe for hot cross buns. The first step is to place flour, yeast, sugar, allspice, cinnamon, salt in a large bowl, briefly mix with a stand mixture fitted with a dough hook. If you've watched any of my videos, you're aware I don't own a stand mixer and I really want one. So I'm gonna have to do it with my hand mixer. 9 grams of instant or rapid yeast. Now these should be 7 grams per packet. It's only weighing 6 grams. They stiffed me. Oh no, there's 7. Okay, there's 7. So I'm gonna need to open to get the 9. Can you save this or is that done now? Is that a waste? I actually went and I got bread flour, proper flour. So 640 grams. 110 grams of caster sugar. So we need 2 teaspoons of allspice and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And salt. So I get a lot of shtick here at home for saying salt instead of salt. 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 Is that a word? Salt. I'm not going to measure this, I'm just going to... briefly mix with a stand mixer fitted with a dough hook. We don't have one, we're aware we don't have one. So what we're going to do instead is, I've got a hand mixer and it has these like hook attachments. I do not know what they are for, but today they're going to be for bread. Add the butter, milk, eggs, sultanas and zest. Butter, 50 grams of melted and cooled. Oh my God. That's 52, so that'll be 50 once it's melted. I'm guessing the milk has to be warm to activate the yeast. It definitely says warm milk, so that's 1.5 cups. I'm just gonna put it in the microwave. 1 egg. I just put the milk in the microwave for 30 seconds, so I think it's warm. I don't know what temperature it's meant to be. What else was in there? We'll put the butter in last in an attempt for it to cool down enough. Zest of an orange. 210 grams of sultanas. This is gonna give us a big batch. Butter. And then it says stand mixer for 5 minutes until smooth and elastic. Right, we don't have that. I'm gonna use this for as much as we can. I don't think we're gonna get to the end using this, and then I'll have to hand knead some of it, I'm sure. These hooks actually worked pretty well, to the point where I wonder if they are meant for bread. But I've gotten to the point where the machine started to smell like it might die. So I'm now gonna switch to hand kneading. We got to a good point with that, so hopefully I won't have to knead for 1,000 years. It is just not getting any smoother. I feel like I've been doing this for hours. Okay, at some point I'm just gonna have to call it because I just can't get it any smoother. I know it's not as smooth as it needs to be if I had a stand mixer because it's not as smooth, but it's not bad. I've got a life to go live. So I'm gonna put this in for its first proof. Put the dough in the bowl, cover with cling wrap and in a warm, wind-free place. Okay. Now, it's actually a pretty cold day here in Melbourne, so there's nowhere really I can leave this where it's particularly warm. So before I started, I heated up the oven to a very low temperature and then turned it off. So it should be warm in there without cooking in any way, shape or form. And I'm going to leave the door open, so hopefully it doesn't cook and it just warms up. And I'm going to check on it in 30 minutes because it says it should double in size depending on how hot it is, between 30 to 90 minutes. It's been in there proving for about an hour, so I think it's about ready. That's doubled in size, I feel like. I've lined a baking tray with baking paper, and I'm going to form the balls for the hot cross buns. Punch to deflate. We need to get to 12 equal pieces. So I think that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're not all completely even. Alright, that just is what it is. Now roll them into bowls. Here is what we are looking like. They're alright. That one is quite small compared to that one, which is quite big. But this is what we've got. Tiniest bit of oil on the cling film, and then place this over the top of the balls of hot cross bun. And now I'm going to put them back in the oven. Like first they're proving, like the oven's not on, it's just hopefully warm enough. And I'll put them back in there for about 45 minutes until it's risen to just below double in size. Fingers crossed, hopefully. They have just finished their second prove, and I think they have risen really very lovely. Pretty happy with them. I think they're as good as we're gonna get without a stand mixer. Now, I need to mix up flour and water so that I can do the crosses. Bit of an issue with the crosses. So you're meant to use a piping bag, failing that, a Ziploc bag. I have neither. When I went to the shop to get all the ingredients for this, there wasn't in the ingredients list, because obviously it's on the ingredients, so I didn't buy it. But I have a solution. In here, I have half a cup of flour and 5 tablespoons of water, and I'm just gonna mix it real good. So I don't have a Ziploc bag and I don't have a piping bag, but I do have a glove. You can't see on my shirt. I do have a glove. So I'm gonna wash this really good and then put the mixture in here and then like put it out of a fingertip. So to be clear, this is a clean, brand new glove and I have cleaned it again. So I'm just going to put it over this glass. I'm gonna trim a fingertip and pipe. Oh, this is where we're at now. They don't really look like crosses. I'm pretty sure my flour mixture was too watery. That's okay. This is the learning. So now I'm gonna preheat the oven to 180 and then we bake. They are almost ready. They're about to come out of the oven. The crosses haven't come out and I don't know why. They must have been too much water and not enough flour. But I'm going to microwave some jam as per the recipe. I'm gonna brush this over the hot cross buns so they get like this nice, shiny, pretty little finish. Here are my hot cross buns. Can you see them? I think they look alright. They're okay. As I say, the crosses have not turned out on them. You can't even really see them at all. So I think I didn't make that part thick enough. It must have just been too much water, not enough flour. And then we've got this apricot jam, and I'm going to brush over the jam to give it the shiny top. And I think it will give it a nice apricot flavor. So here we have our hot, barely any crosses on them, buns. You can kind of see where the cross was supposed to be. But again, if that's the worst thing to happen, that's okay. So this is on a cooling rack that I bought special today because I only ever have 2 small cooling racks. And when they're all cooled, let's rip one apart, see if it's tasty. They've cooled down. They've not cooled down fully, but I think they've cooled down enough for us to rip one open. And I'll be really honest with you, this has been quite a long process. I'm a bit over it, so let's just dig in. Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. You can it's still steaming because it's still quite hot. All right, I think they're cooked all the way through. Ooh, look at that. That's a hot cross bun. It's a hot bun with some faded crosses. If that's the only thing I got wrong. It tastes delicious. Look, if you're gonna make your own hot cross buns, this was a good recipe. Make sure your flour for your crosses is more flour than water, but it's delicious. Would I do this again? No. Reason being, this made 12 hot cross buns and probably cost me close to $40 in ingredients, which is just ridiculous because I think you can get 12 hot cross buns for like $9. And it was a lot of effort. Tastes good though. They taste good, they look good, other than the crosses. I think this was a success. Happy Easter.